Um, well, thanks for wanting to do this with me, man.
No problem. I came across the series and I thought it was kind of cool. You don't see a whole lot of this kind of thing, so
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
very interesting.
well, that was kind of my idea as well. It's like there's no shortage of podcasts out there, but like for kind of like Minecraft specifically, and like a little bit more involved in like the Minecraft, different tech servers and content creators and
Mm.
stuff like that. Um, well, where are you from?
I am Canadian.
Oh,
I live
okay,
in Canada. Yeah,
Canada.
Canada. I say a lot. It's a stereotypical thing that's pretty true.
Are most Canadians pretty nice as well?
I think so. We've got our fair share of jerks, but I think
Yeah,
for the most part we're pretty um,
pretty friendly.
friendly folk.
Yeah, I had a friend that lived in North Dakota, and
Yeah.
a lot of the people, he said there was a lot of Canadians there as well, and they were all just super nice.
Yeah, it's
Um,
been my experience so far. Like I was born and raised here, right? So it's all I know.
oh, that's cool. Are you into like any of the hockey and stuff like that, or?
I am. I coach minor hockey. My kids have all played hockey at some point in their lives. I played hockey when I was young. It's not uncommon for like a game of pond hockey to kick up in the winter. So yeah.
That's awesome, man. I didn't
Mhm.
realize that you were old enough to have kids, or you had kids.
I have several children. Yeah, I have three kids.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to know I'm not alone to being, you know, I have kids as well, so it's. I think you're the first I've interviewed or I've had on the podcast that I can kind of relate with in that sense.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Not many people of our age, I guess, that kind of get into this thing.
Yeah, that are like that diehard Minecrafters or like that too much in. Well, I think we're kind of on the like higher end of the age group that is normally part of like TMC.
Hmm. Yeah, probably. I know for sure I am.
Yeah. Um. Well, so you've always lived in Canada, you said?
I have. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, for those that might not know you, what are you most known for?
Oh, I'm probably most known for a series of multi-item sorters for Minecraft Java Edition.
Yeah.
Storage tech, kind of more so, but I think most specifically is a bunch of those systems that I designed. Started kind of on my own, and then working collaboratively with folks like MetaMilo, Samus the Sage, DatNerd, um, Inspector Talon, and a few others, building these systems that have seemed to have picked up a lot of traction.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I remember when you had your 500 sub special, and then not long after that, now you're a couple thousand.
Yeah, I'm getting close to the 3,000 mark now, actually, which is kind of wild because that's I never really got into this for that kind of thing, right? It was just sort of a fun hobby on the side. And to think that I've got like I was able to monetize my most recent video, like that's just crazy to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, how did you originally get into Minecraft?
My kids actually.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, so they had started. My kids are like teenagers now. I've got a 18, 14, and 12-year-old. So they started when this thing launched.
Wow.
Oh, it's like 10 years ago now, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yeah, about 10 years ago, yeah. Or more.
And I remember getting them set up on, like, I've always been a gamer. So I've always had computers in the home and laptops, and like it wouldn't be uncommon for me to have like a LAN night with some of my friends. So I remember setting up Minecraft for my kids over the LAN so that they could play together from different systems. And I
Yeah.
remember them showing me this game. I'm like, this game's kind of Like, cool, it's a kid's game. You're like, it's like video game Legos. Sure.
Yeah, that's what I first thought too. Was like, oh, you just got a bunch of block, like it's a block game. No, that's cool.
It's a block game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they showed it to me. I played it a little bit with them. I didn't really pick it up much more until we started playing it on PlayStation. So we got it for our PS4, like when it first became available, and we'd sit as a family and just kind of do some couch co-op on Minecraft and just build all sorts of things.
Well, that's cool. So, at what point did you kind of start taking it seriously? Where you're like, hey, there's some cool stuff you could do with like redstone and different contraptions and stuff like that. Or
I think it kind of started with it. You know what? It probably started with a bit of storage tech kind of stuff, like on the worlds we would build on the PlayStation. And it was when it first launched on PlayStation, it was a little bit different, right? It was probably more akin to the Java edition than Bedrock that it is right now.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you could build more functional systems on a PlayStation console edition, and you know, have some pretty cool redstone contraptions. But we always had this need for storage because like there'd just be chests everywhere filled with junk.
yeah,
So we'd look up ways to build item sorters. And I always was like, God, it'd be really cool if we could put like multiple types of one item into one chest. So like early on, I was thinking about this concept. I'd ended up building like a few kind of adventure maps on PlayStation 4 for Minecraft, and had people join and try them out. And I built a bunch of redstone contraptions that they had to solve little puzzles and get through. And then after doing that for a while, I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna. My kids are slowly losing interest in it, but I think I kind of still enjoy this game, so I'm just gonna get it on PC and just tinker around with it there.
yeah.
And that's when I really started to get into the item sorter stuff.
Do you remember what update that was? Was it like a long time ago, or was it like a? Do you remember about what update you started in? Or
1. Like on Java, it would have been 1.14 or
oh, really? Oh, okay.
1.15. Like not even that long ago, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was sort of recent when you started putting out like content, from what I remember.
Yeah, probably like the last 2 years,
Yeah, yeah,
and that would have been around the time of 1.14, 1.15.
yeah. That's well, that's and that really telling too, because there was already a bunch of storage tech kind of stuff, and there were some I think multi-atom sorter concepts by then, so it was really cool to see like a different take on it when yours originally came out.
Yeah, there was a lot of those like slot reservation type systems,
Yeah.
and they were popular because it was something you could build on Bedrock. And I definitely remember building some of those types of things on PlayStation, and then it would just like the kids would take things out of the chest and the whole thing would break. So it's like, okay, let me reconfigure it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I started playing on PC, I was looking around more, and I came across Shildy Freak's design, and tinkering with that, I ended up kind of manipulating it into the the first version of the current multi-item sorter.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely say that was a big step. I think that was the first one that I saw that didn't need the slot reservation, which was really cool.
Yeah, because even like Shildy Freak's original was a slot reservation system, but it used it as it used it in a way that the chest was also a filter. Like
Yeah.
he'd pull the item out of the chest and then place it back into the same chest, and that's where you would collect your items from as well. So I just separated those two functions and started using it that way.
Oh, I see. That's cool. Um,
Yeah, and it was really big and bulky when it first started. Like that actually wasn't even my first design. I have other designs that I've made that are just giant contraptions of a mess of a multi-item sorter, like 40 blocks by 40 blocks to be one module of a sorter.
wow. Maybe you can release some like pre-version 1 designs just for the lulz, like some test stuff. show
Yeah,
off
it's
one
it,
day.
it's funny. I was actually looking at one recently and was like, oh man, I've learned so much since I built this thing. It's crazy.
Well, aside from storage tech, what else are you into in Minecraft, or is it mainly just storage tech, or?
I still have a fondness for like challenge maps and puzzle maps. I don't really do much of them myself, but I like to create the puzzles that people can solve.
Yeah.
So, like, because that's kind of what I started with on the PlayStation also. I'm just gonna make sure my computer doesn't shut off on me here. You
You're
still got
good.
me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've been working on a challenge map with MetaMilo. So I think we've teased it a couple times now, but it's going to be this big, complex redstone challenge map. It's MetaMilo's project, and I've given some input to it, but I
Mm.
kind of like that kind of stuff too. The puzzle setup and solution piece.
Yeah, puzzles are fun.
Yeah.
I like them a lot.
And
Um,
it- and if they're set up in a way that helps people learn and understand redstone too, then all the better.
oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Is that part of the puzzle is kind of figuring out what redstone bits do what, or?
That's the idea, yeah. So you
Oh,
kind of get to learn about individual components and then some smaller system components and larger systems as well.
that's really cool. I like that idea. I haven't done many puzzles myself, but I did used to do like PvP a little bit, just because I'm like when I'm not playing Minecraft, I'll play like either Halo or PUBG or like any other FPS game.
Oh yeah.
Um, it was something weird where you would just throw snowballs. It was just like kind of like tag where you would just hit people with snowballs. Um, well,
I never got into PvP with Minecraft. My youngest son still does that a lot. He plays like the Bed Wars kind of games,
oh yeah.
and those things. And he's always telling me to get into it, but I'm just eh. If I'm gonna play like a competitive kind of, you know, game like that, I'll stick to Warzone.
Yeah, oh, Warzone's fun too. I'll play that
Yeah.
sometimes. And CS:GO from time to time, but I'm just so bad at compared to what I used to be decent, but yeah, it's just a little bit too fast paced for me now.
Yeah, I like the fast paced. So I like Warzone I play, PUBG I never really got into. CS:GO I played a little bit. I'm not playing any of them right now because my GPU died in December and I don't have my new replacement card yet, so I haven't like filled that hole of type of gaming lately.
Mm.
But like a long time ago I'd play a game called Tactical Ops, which was the um, Unreal tournament mod version of Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
Counter Strike became the popular version, whereas Tactical Ops kind of fell off the
yeah,
map a little bit. But I played that game religiously, and
yeah.
it was a fast paced shooter, like a year 2000 shooter. But um, yeah, I still enjoy those kind of games.
Yeah, I never actually got into Bed Wars very much. Or the one where you have to scaffold really fast across to get like the sky. I don't know if that's the same thing or not.
I think so, where you have to get across the other person's base.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to like build your bridge across. Yeah, I think that's Bed Wars. It shows how big that like the Minecraft community is because there's so many different variations of how you can play the game. I don't even know them all.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty massive. Um, are you are you a part of any server like a SMP or any sorts? Or
I play on an SMP called Chaos Tech. I've
oh,
been on
okay.
it for about a year now. We built a few larger scale projects. So the multi-item sorter, I think I first built it on that server as sort of like a full build. I had built the furnace array with the intent of putting it on that server as well. And I had kind of a first version on there. We recently did a server reset, so we're in the process of rebuilding things. I'm supposed to be focusing on building a full main storage system with like a common item area, a bulk, and the multi-item sorter all part of it. It hasn't completely been realized yet.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've actually heard of Chaos Tech, but like they got like a Discord and everything, or
yeah, they got a Discord and everything. There's members from all over the world that are part of it. One of the guys that I did the furnace video with Iron Shooter or Monochrome Sauce. He's one of the members of that server.
oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's really the only one. I jump on other people's servers now and again just as invites get thrown to me, usually because people have problems with the multi-item sorter, so I go on and fix it. But that's about it.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
and
deal.
and and Meadow Milo also has an SMP that I had played on for a little bit, but I never really I hadn't stuck with it.
Yeah, he does. I forgot he started one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you ever plan to do a single player series?
Oh, like my own. This is my single player world, and here's how I'll build and survive.
Yeah, like the classic Minecraft Let's Play, but just with like just RaPsCaLLioN Let's Play sort of.
I've I, I've considered it. I don't know if people would find it as interesting though. Like the thing that I do is pretty niche, right?
Hmm.
I feel like I need to expand into that area versus do the thing that everyone else is already doing.
Right. Yeah, there are no shortage of single player series out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the big thing these days is like surviving hardcore for a certain amount of days or whatever. Like I keep getting that recommended on my YouTube like nonstop, and I'm like, I mean, how many people really survive a hardcore that many days, and like when does it become like not that great of an achievement?
Yeah, like the Dan TDMs and the PewDiePies who are
Yeah.
PewDiePie's doing it now, right?
Yeah, I actually watched a PewDiePie video the other day. He put out a storage video for his Minecraft world. I was like, okay, he's getting into storage. Well, he knows how to
Yeah,
set
I
up
saw.
basic item sorters.
Yeah. Had my fingers crossed that he might come across mine and it'd be the next big share.
Oh man, that'd be it. If someone recommends like
That'd be crazy.
your multi-item sorter, I mean, it's really not that far fetched, honestly. Like if he was, doing his Minecraft thing or whatever, and someone's like, "Hey, why don't you set up a multi-item sorter?" And then,
Yeah.
I mean, your videos are like one of the top when you search it in YouTube, so like it could happen.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility, right? Like
Yeah,
if you think that Cub fan has picked it up and used it in his series, Il Mango's picked it up, used it in his, like there's a handful of people that have brought a lot of attention to this thing and I'm super grateful for it.
yeah. Well, that's one of the great things about like TMC is there can be so many like small tech servers and uh, people that contribute to TMC and storage tech and tree farms and different things like that, and it can be so like niche and not very known, but then it could reach people like Omango and Mumbo Jumbo or like Cub
Yeah.
Fan. It's like, whoa, holy, like this person. uh, yeah, like when I saw Cub Fan was talking about using your multi-item sorter, I was like, holy, like this dude is on Hermitcraft, and it's
Yeah.
it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to think.
Yeah, but yeah, it also goes to show just how big like the whole Minecraft community is too. That's like, you know, you can really excel at one thing and then be noticed for it.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Um,
it's I like how the community collaborates too, right? So there's a lot of sharing of ideas and concepts, and even if it's like, yeah, people share like full designs and showcase them and things, but to take small components or things several people have developed in isolation to then turn around and like a cubic meter. Cubic meter just put out a video on a storage system that includes like a variation on one of the box sorters that I made, and like a bunch of other systems from other community members, and it's really cool to see the whole thing come together in a way.
Yeah, yeah, and like the storage tech Discord is so great. I'll just check in like every day just to see something that someone's talking about or someone had posted a design. And like in that video that Cubic posted, he talked about one of the slices of like the sorter there, and he's like, "Yeah, this part was from this person, and this person worked on this part." And
Yeah,
yeah, it's really
that's
cool
pretty
to
cool.
see.
It's a nice little community, right? Like the storage tech Discord for sure has been a nice little gathering spot for people.
Yeah, yeah. What keeps you motivated to keep coming up with like different designs for the, say like keep work expanding and improving the multi-atom sorter or like different, different kind of contraptions like the furnace array.
But boredom. I don't know what keeps bringing me back to it. I think I'm a little OCD, to be honest. I don't know. Like if I pick up a game, I get stuck on it for a long period of time. Um, like I said, when I was playing Tactical Ops, how I played that game for probably 15 years. Like the Diablo series, I play that game like nonstop and played that for a decade. Minecraft is no different. Like you pick it up, it's an enjoyable game. There's so many things to do and build and design and create. Like I just find myself going back to it. So I don't have any specific motivation to keep going, right? Like I'm not I love the idea of having subscribers and viewers and a community around it, but it's not the thing that motivates me to do it. It's just kind of like I just enjoy playing the game.
Yeah, yeah, and there's no end to it. I think that's one of the coolest things about it is that like, uh, there's no plan or there's no like future where Mojang's like, yeah, we're gonna work on a different game or we're gonna stop putting out updates because it's like a Minecraft. You can keep the same world through like updates that they put out like maybe every 6 months or
Hmm?
so and just stay in that same world, or you can make a whole new world but it's the same game really. And
Yeah,
yeah, there's like no shortage
it's
of cool things you could do.
yeah, like they're not making a Minecraft 2,
Yeah,
right? This is the game, and they'll keep expanding it. It's the same. World of Warcraft is another one that I got into, and I go back to every once in a while again. Like they're not making a World of Warcraft 2. There's so much content that's available there to keep you entertained, and they add expansions and you know new systems and functionality that keeps it interesting for people.
yeah. I'm the same way. I think I don't know what it is that scratches that itch for me playing Minecraft or games like I got into WoW a little bit, but and I was into Destiny for a while. At the thought of them like continually expanding on the base game and games that don't do that, I just don't play as much. Like I have friends that play Tarkov, Escape from Tarkov, and and other like FPS games that kind of just like they're fun to play and hop in and play for a little bit and then get off. But games like Minecraft, like you can really sink your teeth in and just keep playing because there's
Mhm.
like there's only continuation and progress.
Yep.
um, so, what do you think the biggest innovation storage tech has been like since you started playing?
Oh, hmm, the biggest innovation, I think, just general compacting of things.
Hmm.
I look back at like some of the stuff that Pala designed and released,
Yeah.
and you look now at similar things: variable item sorters, binary storage, co- encoders, decoders, like the box sorter, even all of those things have been shrunk down so much. Like you look at these things and giant, massive contraptions, and whether it's me or someone else taking a look and through some analysis and testing and maybe some over engineering it sometimes, you're able to reduce it by over half the size.
Yeah.
I think that's been the biggest leap in storage tech, is just making it smaller, makes it easier to understand for more people, which means that it becomes more commonly used,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
It just gets bigger.
You look at the box sorter and you say, okay, well, this thing is 15 by 20 in one slice, 15 by 20 by one tileable. So you have to understand that whole system for it to work. You shrink that thing down to 5 by 5. Now it's that much easier for someone to turn around and replicate it.
Yeah. Yeah. That. Yeah. Like you mentioned Pala, and one of his first videos that I was like, I was really surprised by was that his bulk sorter where he would sort the boxes, and it was almost, uh, you know, back then there was a maybe not as much known, or that he was kind of the biggest one doing it. So I was really like scared to build something like that, because I was like, I don't know how all these boxes are going to be sent through there. And he had, it looked really complicated, I guess. But then when you've got down the road now where you uh like I'm using one by uh Fury, I think.
Yeah, Fury, okay.
And he made one that was super small, and I'm like, holy crap, like this, it's such a small little contraption, but it does such a big task.
Yeah. Right? Like that's the thing. You look at something that's large and you think, okay, if this thing breaks, I have to troubleshoot this. I have no idea where I'm going to try and find what's broken in this.
Yeah.
But if you reduce it to half the number of components, then it's much easier to troubleshoot and understand and operate.
Mhm.
That's how I feel anyway. I think
Yeah, for sure.
that's been the biggest um, development in storage tech over the last little while, is just the sheer compacting that's going on.
And simplifying almost.
Simplifying for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because it allows a lot more people like me that aren't very like knowledgeable of storage tech to be able to build it and be like, okay, I know how this gets from there to there, or I know how this sorts. Do you know much about encoded tech or encoded storage?
No, I understand the concepts behind it.
Hmm.
I haven't seen a like it binary. Let's say binary is the one that people usually go to. Like people keep dropping hex as a as a potential, but
Yeah.
let's say let's say binary. It's kind of the unicorn of storage tech. I
Yeah.
haven't seen a fully functional system. I'm sure there are some that exist that I just haven't seen, but none have really come out or been released to say, here's this is the be all and end all of storage tech, and this is what everyone should be using because it's the most optimal and efficient and easy to build. Right. So like there's always that discussion around this is how it should function. I think a lot of it's still really theoretical and it's just not optimized yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe that's where it goes next. There's been so much optimization and compacting and simplification that's happening in standard storage tech that maybe next it moves into things like binary.
Yeah, and yeah, different variations of encoded, but like the one that makes the most sense to me, or like that's kind of how I understand it too, is like a basic understanding of how things are encoded. And I go back to like watch Ethos storage or Nexus, where he would toss an item and the stack or a box would come to him. And I know that's kind of how encoded works, where you select what you want and it comes to you. Um, and I think that was part of that system that Cubic showed too. It has a bulk call system almost. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah.
the call systems are, from my understanding, are a little independent from an encoded system. An encoded system more has to do with breaking down an item to a specific code. So it's not your standard sorter. It's based on where that item is in an array of different storage slices.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
once you send the code through of 10101, it knows which slice to pull from, and it pulls that item from there or sorts it based on that code or whatever.
This is so crazy that this is in Minecraft. Or that's a
I know, eh? And I'm probably explaining it completely wrong. So there's gonna like when you put this up, there's gonna be people in the comments that are gonna say that's not what this is. It's this. Cool. I like to be corrected. So
Yeah.
please, if someone knows better than me, I'm probably not the best person to speak to encoded storage.
Yeah, no, me neither. And well, that's why I asked, because I was gonna see if you could kind of knowledge me about it, or yeah, teach me some things. Because I've watched a few videos on people that have teased like encoded storage, and yeah, it's just. But I think you're right that it probably is heading there to where that's more common. Because Pala, as far as I know, Pala started like the encoded thing, and people would expand and work on his encoded storage, or his binary storage. But yeah, it's such a leap from that to being like, here's a finished binary storage, like an entire thing.
Did he even finish his?
I don't think he did. I think he started it.
Yeah, I think it got started and was never completed. But
Yeah,
that's what I mean, right? Like it's a unicorn of storage. It's talked about as the greatest thing, and like I've never seen one.
yeah. um, have you been keeping up with the snapshots?
Not really, no. Like
Okay.
a little bit. I know that for 117 that a lot of it is around world generation with caves and cliffs, obviously.
Hmm.
From a redstone perspective, the only like the biggest new component is it skulk sensor?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. The skulk. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been thinking about ways to make it useful in these types of complex systems. I haven't thought of a way yet.
Yeah, I think that'll be. I think that'll definitely be fun for like puzzle maps and mini games and stuff. But I'm not sure how much of like a practical aspect that a skulk, because it would react to like any sound. So you'd have to be, you know, you'd have to put it in a system that would only react to like player inputs somehow and not react to anything else.
Yeah.
But it's
Like I think it's cool. It's cool from a player proximity thing, right? Like if you approach your player base and it opens the doors for you, that's cool.
yeah, yeah,
Like player detection has always been a thing that people have been asking for. So this is a great way to do that. But that's more of a like a high level implementation of this thing, right? Like it's not a small component to a larger system. It's just kind of like the trigger for that
yeah.
larger system.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that we're getting a cave update and wireless redstone
Yeah.
in the same update. The
Yeah.
two things that have been kind of become like uh I don't want to say a meme, but just kind of I can't think of the word, but yeah, I mean people would just joke about it. Wireless redstone, and there'd be like clickbait videos about certain redstone, and I think you can still implement some kind of wireless redstone now without like the skulk with like daylight sensors and stuff. But
You can with daylight sensors vertically. You can also with tripwire hooks up to like a 30 or 40 block different
oh, that's
distance.
right. Yeah,
I forget what it is. As long as you have like an item entity triggering the area where a piece of string used to be, then it'll still trigger the tripwire hook on the other end.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, that's kind of all the questions that I got here, man. Did you have anything else? Or-
No, not really. I just like thanks to the community and for all my subscribers and for the folks that have shared my videos and showcased the systems that have been built by myself and the other collaborators. It's really cool to see these things in use and have so many people kind of building them on their single player worlds and their SMPs, and Like it's still all really wild to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to, sit here kind of seeing like I don't want to suck up to you too much, but I'm confident that that you only get bigger from here. The more storage tech is innovated, and it's such a big part of like tech right now. Anyways, it's kind of like a big thing, and yeah, like you said, I think it'll only get bigger and as more innovation keeps playing out.
Yeah, super interested to see what else the community comes up with.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah. Well, thanks again for coming on and taking the time.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. And like I said, really enjoying the series. Looking forward to more of these.
Appreciate it, man. All right. Well, have a good one.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.